No one hears me right now.
Loud noises.
I look disappointed.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
We're
how's it
back
going?
again for another thing of art damage with some breaking news from Zach Pedley.
Well, this is a sad day. I mean, I've told you guys. I haven't told Ruff yet. I don't know if he knows this or not, but it's come down the pipe, and
We're basically breaking this live.
We're breaking it live.
This story broke
like a
earlier
couple
today.
of hours ago.
Yeah.
So, are you familiar with DC Comics, Josh?
Yes, I am familiar with DC
Have
Comics.
you heard anything that's happened today?
There's a staple character by the name of Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
DC has come out and said
He's dead.
Batman does not eat pussy. You think this is a joke?
I don't know that's a detail I need to know about Batman. I mean,
That's why I said you're either going to be upset
I don't care
or you
what
just don't give a shit.
I don't care what gets Batman's dick hard, you know?
Well,
That's the thing is, they're not saying he's gay.
no, they're not
They're
saying
just saying he doesn't.
So what happened was there's this HBO show, Harley Quinn.
Uh-huh.
You might have known about this. Well, on the show,
show?
Yeah, there's a show called Harley Quinn.
the movie that came
No,
out? Or
it's
is it-
a animated show.
Animated show.
Oh, okay.
And the people of the show wrote a scene where Batman is going down on Catwoman.
Okay.
And then the DC execs come out,
Like, whoa.
Wait, and this is a cartoon?
and this is a cartoon.
It is HBO Max, so it could be like a made-for-adults version of Harley Quinn cartoon.
Yeah, they
you
do
know?
get a little R-rated with those sometimes.
Yeah.
They've so this is what DC's execs said.
Is this an official
This
press
is an
statement?
official quote.
That's why, thus the joke.
This is the quote. DC, once they found out about this, they said to the people who are writing Harley Quinn, they said, "You can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. They're like heroes. Heroes don't do that. Heroes do not go down on women."
Well.
I think it's because Harley Quinn has a girlfriend, so they're like, how are we going to distinguish who the good guy and bad guy is? This is how.
So going down,
Yeah.
eating some puss
That's what bad guys do,
is what bad guys do.
according to DC.
Apparently.
Well, this goes full circle. That's why, women like the bad guys.
Maybe this is why Marvel has been owning DC for several years now.
Because Marvel embraces it.
This is shocking to me as a Batman fan. I mean, at least, like, if they were going to say, oh, Batman's gay, I'd be like, okay, I can get that. He sucks a lot of dick. He enjoys it. It's pleasurable for him.
Yep. Rich guy hangs out with a lot of underage
Billionaire.
boys.
In a cave.
Very
Billionaire
questionable.
Playboy.
Lot of
Bruce Wayne.
daddy issues. You know what I mean?
makes
There's
sense.
a lot of stuff going on.
There's an older man in the
guess so.
house, Alfred. Maybe he's shown him a thing
They're
or
just
two.
roommates.
They're just roommates.
Groomed him.
They groomed him. But it's upsetting to me because I'm like, why would Batman not do this?
How's
he
he
would
going to
do
see the
this.
bat signal?
I said, why is
He's
this even
down there all day long.
Why is this even a thing? Like, why?
Well, it's all over the internet. That's all you're gonna see. I bet you're gonna start seeing memes about Batman not eating pussy.
I can't wait. It's going to be great.
So
Somebody will
like
Sometimes
NFT it and
you
make $1
live
million.
long enough to be the enemy.
And Batman now is the enemy.
Yeah.
This is
Some of you have embraced the vagina, but me myself was born in it.
All right, so that's our breaking news then. Batman does not eat pussy.
No.
he absolutely does not. DC
Watch his
execs.
book sales just start fucking tanking from like all the women that are like, I used to masturbate to Batman comics, and now that guy can just go fuck himself.
Big fail on DC's part, I would
This is
say.
a massive fail.
Yeah.
This is relevant because we're talking art. We talked comic books here.
Yeah.
Like this is destruction.
This was a great episode, guys.
All right, tune in next week.
Yeah, so why
out.
don't we actually get into the episode, but let's go around and do the social media thing that we do. I'm Josh Ruff at joshruff.com on all the things, www.joshruff.com. We're here at Renaissance Studios at RS Tattoo NY on Instagram.
Hi, I'm a heartbroken Reggie Inks here because my wife no longer wants me to cosplay as Batman. You can find me online at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Reggie Inks. You email me, ReggieInks.com, and maybe I'll make a Batman commission for you. That might be a little risque by DC standards.
Zach Pedley, owner of North Brewery. You can find us at North Brewery on Google, Facebook, Instagram. Check us out. And then me privately, you can check me out at Chomp88 on TikTok. And I like my beers ratchet on Instagram.
I'm Christina Maslar. You can find me at Christina_Maslar on Instagram and Christina Maslar on Facebook and here.
I'm Bam Maslar. I'm a painter, co-owner of Crucible Art Gallery. You can find me on Instagram at Bam_Maslar. And if I actually remember to renew the domain, BamBurnsThings.com.
All right. Well, there we have it. What's our subject tonight, Christina?
Jan van Eyck.
Ah,
Jan?
yes.
Jan?
A very important figure in art history.
Yeah.
Jan.
I mean, he doesn't do anything bullshit with courts, but he does some stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So.
But the real question is he like Batman or is he not like Batman?
I don't know if they mention a wife
In
in
what
here,
way?
so maybe he is like Batman and that he only keeps young boys around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I really know about this guy is that he's deemed by many the father of oil painting. Because he
He is,
pioneered
yeah.
a lot of the techniques that were used later on.
Yep.
Cool.
Before we jump in, do you want to talk about any of the beers this week?
No.
Okay.
We
And
got,
that's
Me
our
too.
message from our sponsors.
They got beer. 410 Washington Ave.
we got a
What
new
got?
stout coming out this week. Lovecraftian Love Language Volume 2, Nightmares on Wax. It's a chocolate vanilla stout. Comes out tomorrow, I believe. It's going to be pretty good.
Wednesday.
Or Thursday. Yeah, probably come out Thursday. We have that. Yeah, we're kicking it along. Things are going good.
Are we to expect a Batman Catwoman themed beer coming out?
You know that
I would assume so now.
maybe, but like you know that
Didn't you have a
that
beer called-
Danzig guy? He had that thing out about pushing your cart back if it makes you a good person or not, right? Like judge of a good person. I feel like that was way like about the Batman. I know we're gonna get into the show, but I just like it breaks my heart. 'Cause
Didn't you have a beer called Guavalingus?
yeah, we did because I believe in it. You should pleasure your partner.
Reciprocate.
And
Are you going to put part 2, Batman edition?
It's just the colors of Batman.
the colors of Batman. It sucks, dude. At least have him come out as gay or something. Don't do this. Don't handcuff us. This is like DJ Khaled. When he came out and said he didn't do that, I was like, oh my God. It's horrible. What a horrible individual.
Anyway, Jan van Eyck.
I don't know if I can top this.
Should I
You
bring
can,
up,
you can top it.
should I
Yeah.
bring up his picture here?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, check out that head
I thought we were
wrap.
done with Batman. He wouldn't hear we got the red hood, man.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
move over, Grey Gardens.
Is there a reason he's wearing his dirty
Nice.
laundry on his head?
It's his style, man. He was born sometime between 1380 and 1395. He was born.
He was
so-
born.
He's born. I'll drink to that.
Is this a self-portrait?
That is a self-portrait. I should have written down when it was from. Oh, 1433, Portrait of a Man.
You know what this looks like, too?
Who?
The guy from Saw, Jigsaw.
He does.
Yeah, he
look
does
bit
a
like
little
Jigsaw-
bit. Yeah, the
Jigsaw.
face does look like Jigsaw.
I'm just confused by the loose wrappings and how he's keeping his laundry balanced.
What country?
He is
the Netherlands,
born
right, or
in
something?
modern day Belgium.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's
Cap-
no record of his formal education, just like really the year of his birth. But he knew Latin fluently, and he knew the alphabet in Hebrew and Greek. And nobody knew why. He just fucking knew this shit, and he he was smart. I don't think his parents expected him to survive. That's probably why there's no record of his birth, because that was common back then.
The
But
run.
he-
Kids were dropping like flies
yeah,
back then.
they were just like, we'll wait a couple years to name you. But he learned how to paint from his brother, named Hubert. He's the second image here.
Hubert?
Hubert. Hubert was also an artist.
Oh.
He wasn't a very famous one like his brother.
Well, yeah, look at that face.
Yeah, he just looks sad about it.
And a little, like, punched in a little bit. Like, little.
I mean, at least he got a
Huberto.
real hat and not laundry.
True.
It's true.
I would wear that hat. Would you rock that hat?
Oh, I have one of those. I wear it in the winter.
Straight up Davy Crockett, bro.
Those are sweet. Very warm. You actually don't need a coat with that. Bottles in the heat.
Yeah.
It's a Chevy Chase thing.
Just a
And
hat.
This
John
reminds
Candy.
me of Cousin Eddie from fucking Christmas Vacation.
Shitter's full.
What a real piece of shit.
But this is Hubert Vonneck. He wasn't very popular. He just kind of knew what he was doing, but didn't get famous for really completing much of anything. Jan made his name for himself by taking on both secular and religious commissions. One of the most recognizable is the Arlifini Portrait, also known as the Arlifini Wedding. which
fuck, look at that cat.
Yeah, that's a dog. It's supposed to be Fido for fidelity, because this is actually a marriage license. Like, this is a witness to a wedding.
This is a fucking amazing painting.
Yeah, like-
I know you got some detail shots in here, but like this is like when oil painting really just took off. Like,
Yeah.
just what this guy
Ridiculous.
did with it. It's like
Because before then, it was just
nobody was
really
doing this
tempera.
shit back then.
Yeah, a lot of Renaissance fingers in the butts and flying eyeballs
Yeah.
Yes.
going on.
How big was this one?
32.4 by 23.6 inches.
Is she pregnant?
No, it's just her
That's what they show.
wrapping
That's how
that
they
she's
would,
holding
like,
up. Yeah, I think it's just supposed to show that she's fertile, but not pregnant. Because it's
Fertile
supposed to
myrtle.
be a wedding certificate. That's why their shoes are off, because it's supposed to be like the sanctity of the room and marriage.
Oh, and that's what
Fido for fidelity and all. Like, everything in this is supposed to like have a meaning.
and it means something like
Yeah.
they're about ready to consummate.
yeah, that's why I think
That's
there's
a
a
wedding
bed
bed, right?
around it,
There's
like
a
behind
bed
them.
right there.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
They don't have to go far.
Zach, this is one of the most important paintings in art history.
I've never.
If you
I mean,
go
I've probably
to-
seen it, but I've never.
Do you see that
learned.
little
how do you feel
thing
about
in
it?
back?
I love it. I think it's good. I think there's nothing wrong with this.
You hit the next one, you can see that detail of that little round thing in back.
The mirror.
Yes.
It has the stations
Oh.
of the fucking cross on it. Like, you could see all the little tiny.
Yeah, and it's tiny. It's
Whoa.
like that
Yeah.
fucking big.
And how big was this?
This is
The painting overall.
the painting overall is 32 by 23. But this is
Inches.
probably really like this big. It's not big. And then you could see the reflections
yeah,
in there. where
we
you can
talked
see the
about this in art
crease
history
and
class in
the-
college. Like this part in particular.
And he
the
painted
mirror.
this?
He
Yeah.
painted this.
Wow. It really. I mean, this guy's very talented. I would not say anything about this type of painting. This is very good, especially knowing that he pioneered this. He started this whole thing. You could tell by the way he did this right here. This image of the reverse. Like, I'm going to show these fuckers.
Oh, yeah,
I
he's
am
just,
the
like,
great of
flaunting
all
it right here.
time.
He's
I
just
mean, there's a
peacocking
reason
at
why he's
this
known as the
point.
father of oil painting,
Right.
because like he developed the techniques that other artists used afterwards. Like,
And
Right.
he was basically the first person that pioneered realism as far as portraiture goes. as
yeah, because
well.
like this is like right at the beginning of the Renaissance, right? Like
Yep.
around that time. So it was like coming out of
1400s.
the Byzantine period, where it was all kind of just weird figures that didn't have great proportions and all that, and were rendered.
Random
Like
axe hanging out of
realistic.
your head.
Yeah,
Not
But
the
this is
most
definitely a
realistic, but-
massive flex. Like, this is something that's like nobody else is doing this shit.
yeah.
And I'm going to prove that this is and for years to come, centuries to come.
What I like about
Son of man.
Suck it.
That's what he did. That's literally what what the reverse of this painting is. Is like, yeah,
Yeah.
come at
It's a
me.
hard. It's a hard flex for sure.
There's
I think I remember like reading something about the reflection in the mirror too, like what's behind the figures in this particular image.
Yeah, it's the person performing the wedding and Arlifini himself, because he is the witness.
Yeah.
Because he's the painter.
But like seriously think about it. You as an artist, would you even think if you're doing a piece to do something with this amount of detail in the piece, so small, and be like, if people are going to look close at this, and they're going to see my ass and my wife's ass, and then the person officiating this. Like, do you even think like this is on another level?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Especially
not
for
to say
the
that
time
you guys wouldn't be able
period.
to do it.
Yes.
I'm just saying this is insane.
This is a very groundbreaking work of art.
It is.
That's why it's a very important piece of art
Like,
history.
there aren't even artists who do shit like this nowadays.
You
And
could
it's
have-
like-
you could
and
have very
and you
talented-
get like photos, you
Right.
know. and-
You have
Yeah.
very talented artists like Dylan Utter and thing. I don't think that he would be able to, like, if he's doing a piece, like, you know what I'm also going to do with this? In doing this, I'm going to put the reflection of the people in this back at. Not to say that he can't do it, just like the thought process that went into this.
and he
the
did it
level
without
of-
like photo references or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Is
'Cause-
most even photorealistic artists nowadays aren't getting.
So how did he paint this then with him in the fucking image?
That's
He just
not him.
Oh, it's not him.
It's just a wedding
No,
portrait of
he
these
was
two.
right.
I
He's
think
in
he's
it.
supposed
Probably
to be in there,
silhouetted
too.
as
yeah.
the-
as
Yeah,
one
like
of the two
in the
people
in the
front
way
of him.
back there.
Yeah.
Because he's the witness.
Is there another
Oh,
closer
so-
image
okay,
here?
Yep.
okay.
Two things I noticed about that detail.
yeah,
There's
another
his
one.
signature
Yeah, that's
above
right.
and the date.
Dude, the warm and cool light that's kind of hitting his cape is really fucking cool. The window is like the perspective is warping a little bit because of the roundness of the mirror and stuff.
And the fucking
Which
Yeah,
is
it's a convex mirror.
clever. And like
the roundness, the fisheye.
look
Yeah.
at the glass from the anal beads. That's reflecting
Yeah.
on the wall too. You can see like
Dude, just check out that fucking signature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tight.
there's some cool stuff. There's a lot of really cool shit going on here.
Yeah. So we can leave these up while I go over stuff. I think there's one more in there that's a detail shot of just a piece of furniture. Look at it.
Oh yeah, just like
just a tiny piece
look
of
at all
furniture
look at
in
all
the
that
background.
This guy's a jerk.
like architecture stuff there. That's fucking
Yeah.
cool.
What a jerk.
And if you
That
zoom out,
relief.
like, and you see how tiny that little piece is in the background there.
Yeah, it's
right next to her
fucking
head.
microscopic, dude.
Shit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the size of her nose.
Oh man, I wish we had a close up of that chandelier right there. I bet that's pretty fucking
It's-
wild looking too.
It's pretty good,
But yeah,
but
that's
I
like
didn't get it.
that's insane.
You could see the very bottom of the chandelier right there
yeah.
in the top corner. But we could leave this up. He served under the ruler of Holland, John of Bavaria and Stubing, and worked for him as part of a project to renovate and redecorate the palace until John's death in 1425. At this point, he moved to Bruges, where he caught the attention of Philip the Good. At this point, he was appointed to be part of Philip's court, an artist and court diplomat, which
Philip the
meant
Good.
that he could no longer rely really on having to do any other portraits commissions that came in because he had a sugar daddy.
I think it's pretty
Yeah.
funny when like
Yeah.
Duke or something takes a name like that, like
Yeah.
Philip the Good.
Yeah.
Like what would yours be?
Zachariah the shit.
I would own that. Yeah, I would take the piece of shit title.
The Duke of Hops.
That makes
Could
it
I
sound
do
like
that
he has
now?
a 1950s
Why not?
band and sings doo-wop.
Why not? Let's all have titles.
The Duke of Malt. I like
Oh,
that.
That's a good one.
That is a
I like
good one.
that. It's classy.
Let's all have titles. Why the fuck not?
We sweet.
Reginald, the Archduke of Poopy Buttholes.
I mean, I thought we were going for cool ones, but
That is cool.
Hey, you can do whatever you want.
That's
It's your
sweet.
world, man.
all right.
The Duke of Poopy Buttholes.
Well, that just got weird.
So because he didn't have to rely on commissions to pay bills anymore, and he had a royal sugar daddy, he could focus more on the craft during this time. So that's where he basically got to flex with things like this, and he got to pick and choose his portraits. At one point, he took a trip to Jerusalem just to see what the landscape looked like, so he could paint it more accurately. Just got to do whatever the fuck he wanted while he was working on
Was
this
he actually
guy.
like selling shit or?
He was taking on commissions,
This
but
guy
he
was
got to
just
pick
paying?
and choose, and this dude was just paying him to be like court artist,
Resident artist.
resident
That's pretty
artist of
cool.
the court. And apparently, he also did a bunch of secret commissions for the dude that people still don't know what they were.
Wow.
Yeah,
And he
I-
got paid like more than a year's worth of
Hey, Christina,
His
are you okay if I get a
income.
sugar daddy?
for these.
Zach, a little bit.
Do you think they were dick pics? Do you think he commissioned him just to paint dick pics?
Yeah, fuck you money. Yeah, I mean, I would.
I mean, because that's like a lot of money to be like, shh, don't tell anybody about these paintings. He's like, okay.
I'm going to mail it to Durr.
I wouldn't even commission. I would do it just knowing the person. Be like, I'm gonna troll the fuck out of this person. I have fuck you money. So I'm gonna be like, I want you just to paint veiny penises,
Yeah.
just realistic penises. What do you
But
want with
can't
them? I
tell
don't.
anybody.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You're just paying them.
I'm gonna send him to random women.
Random women. This is my. You know. What do you think?
Early version of the DM.
Slide a canvas over. Bring the Duchess. Send the
Slide
Duchess
into
something.
your carrier pigeon mail.
So, the next painting we're going to talk about is the Ghent Altarpiece. And this piece has been stolen more than a Mona Lisa. This is the most stolen piece of artwork.
All
Wow.
of those.
All of those.
I remember.
Does it
reading
like
about
fold
this.
in on itself?
Yeah. So, basically, this started in 1420, and it was started by Hubert, his brother. So, there's some overlap here. So, Hubert basically planned the layout, and then while Jan was working for his sugar daddy, he helped him paint this, and Hubert died during the whole painting process.
Oh, he
But,
died.
It is
Cheers to Hubert.
a 12-panel polytic. I can't pronounce it, but it means lots of panels.
Yeah, it's like a triptych, but
Yeah.
more than 3.
More than 3. So it has 12 panels. It was commissioned by the Ghent mayor, Jodicus, and his wife, Lisbeth. And it was supposed to be meant for the St. Bravo Cathedral. The upper panels on the front depict heaven, flanked by angel panels, then Adam and Eve on the ends.
Is there detailed images of this?
Yeah, we'll go into those in a sec here.
Okay.
But the other panels show clergy, saints, sinners gathering all to attend the adoration of the Lamb, which should be the second one here. Maybe not. No? Okay. No, this is the closed panels. So it
Whoa.
closed in on itself,
Oh,
and that's
wow,
on
cool.
the back.
It's just the back of
That's
the painting.
rad.
Yeah, it's part of the back of the painting. Let's see.
Do you remember in Philly we got to see an altarpiece like that? And I crawled behind it and we found paintings on the backside.
Yeah. The whole front side was like those little miniature sculptures and stuff, like the
Yeah.
whole fucking
That's cool.
Whenever you see it in a museum, make sure to crawl in back.
and touch it.
They like that.
Yeah, they
like,
love that.
Lick it.
He kept an
wrote-
eye out. He made sure no one
Pull the painting off the wall too.
and flip.
Make
it
sure
around.
you thoroughly inspect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Lick it a little, see if it's poisonous.
I wrote this at 4 a.m, so I wrote why people thought this painting was the tits. Okay, the flanking panels folded in on itself, and it revealed that the arch panels in the back had Gabriel, John the Baptist, and John the Evangelicus, as well as the two people that commissioned the painting are the ones on the bottom flanking
Interesting.
it. Because he used oil paint, he was able to get detail in the background, buildings, recognizable plants, flora, as well as detailed faces, rumored to be, at times, used a single hair brush. So if you go through these
My
next
guy.
couple, yeah, you can see the amount of crazy detail. Like, that's just
Wow.
background. Like, Dur level background.
I love this guy.
So those are some of the buildings. I think there's another one with buildings in there. Yeah, you can kind of see a zoom out of it.
I love this guy.
It's awesome.
Bro. Chill, bro. Come on, man.
The plants that he did were so well detailed. They were like, you can identify what the fucking plants were. I think that might be the next. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Holy fuck! I wonder what this guy, if this guy was alive today to look at art today, like what this guy would do.
He rolls up to a Jeff Koons exhibition.
He'd be like, "What the fuck?"
CryptoPunks, $10 million. I wonder what they are. Oh my God.
Well, how much do you
Oh.
think the wedding portrait thing would sell for if
I don't
if that
even
went to
fucking
market?
know.
Like if Christie sold that instead of NFTs.
Sadly, probably less than the NFTs.
Yeah. Sadly, nowadays people don't respect. I mean, other than the one piece, the Salvador Mundi piece that sold,
Which is not even like a legitimate like Da
They
Vinci
can't
painting.
prove
They
it's
can't
Da
prove it
Vinci.
is.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Other than that, really fine art like
I'd really
this
like to
doesn't
know
go
though,
up
like
for-
what like significant pieces like this in art history would sell for if they went to the market today.
And once we go through the history of this thing, it's fucking crazy.
Where-
It's crazy.
Does it say where? It's probably a private collection, right? Like the Louvre.
No, it's in a museum. Yeah, it's a museum
Yeah,
collection.
yeah.
It's in here somewhere, I think. It's been a week. I was a different person then when I wrote it. So I'm going to be just as surprised as you are when I get to that point. But look at the little faces behind those bushes there.
Yeah,
So
it's
tiny.
crazy.
That's absurd. This is absurd.
And then the next one, there's some detail, like faced pictures and
Oh, yeah, that's
some of the
from the-
jewelry and
all
shit
right.
on them.
It's crazy. Yeah, look at the fucking patterns on like the fabric.
I wonder
behind
if
them.
if
It's
there was
insane.
information how long he spent on each piece. Like,
I don't know.
I
this
mean,
was
probably a
done-
while.
Yeah, this was painted between 1420 to 1432 between him and his brother.
So it's like a 12-year endeavor.
Yeah.
but I can like see him like coming out of like he's painting for like 12 hours a day, and when he takes his breaks, he's just so fucking mentally exhausted. Even that he's like this looks mentally exhausting.
even
Yeah.
12 years on something like this doesn't even seem like that long.
No. I mean,
Like
mercury
the-
and opium were a thing back then, so
Gather together
Time.
with the boys.
Well,
Time
the
didn't
fact
make
that he was
sense.
also developing these techniques at the same time.
that's
is
what I'm
probably
getting
why it
at.
took 12 years. I
No,
mean,
no,
you could,
I'm saying the opposite. Like 12 years seems like a small amount of time.
Well, yeah,
for being,
yeah, I
like,
know what
the
you're
guy
saying.
Who created it?
but
I
like,
mean-
yeah, he probably spent that time figuring out all these techniques to.
could you imagine figuring
Render
out
that.
fucking glazing? Jesus.
I just couldn't imagine getting
Do it
together
on
with-
accident because you're
Yeah,
like,
I
oh
know.
God, I
Oh,
need to
wait.
just walk away from this piece.
Wait, there's layers?
And then like a week later, you're like, all right, dude, let's put a little. What?
I just can't imagine like getting together with the boys and doing some mercury. That would be fucking.
what do you
That's
do?
the beauty of it. You don't know you're doing it. It just happens to be in your shit.
and then you die.
Yeah.
I thought we were hanging out Saturday.
Oh yeah, well, a
Do
little
some fat lines of mercury.
fat lines. Couple.
I don't think that's how you do mercury, man.
You lick it.
Drink some thermometers.
I think there's another one. Yeah.
Fucking
And
awesome.
then there's
Jesus
detail
Christ,
work on
look
her
at that.
crown.
Well, look at the stuff around her. It's insane.
Oh man, can we zoom in on that detail just like on the right? I wish we could on like
Yeah, that'd be
the
nice.
florid or whatever pattern that is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
I think
Just-
I didn't
yeah.
do that, but I did a detail of her crown. It's just fucking, it's crazy.
Her hair.
Is that on here?
Yeah.
Oh,
there
yeah,
you go.
it is.
What the fuck?
Bro.
Right?
No. Wow.
Look at those little foxgloves at the top.
It's like
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not that an avid painter. I haven't painted in a long time, and when I do paint, I paint a lot of bullshit.
Doesn't this make you want to give up?
But like, dude,
Yes.
I feel like a lot. Like if true art school students were looking at this, the professor would be like, "We're standing on the feet of giants. Like you have no idea what these guys are fucking doing, and then you're over here."
Doesn't this just
Fucking
make
all.
you feel like
Just
a
splatter
piece of shit?
painting. Just fucking splatter painting, doing some
And
lines.
you can't amount to anything unless you're doing something like this is insane. Not even a computer could generate
Bro.
something like this with the amount of detail.
I want to. Were people like losing their minds looking at this shit in
Oh
1400?
yeah, that's why they thought it was a
sorcery.
That's what I mean. What was the reaction?
It
to
was
this
like
shit?
it probably would have been like the same reaction when people saw Star Wars for the first
Yeah.
time.
So the fact that he could get this amount of detail and stuff, and he was pioneering oil paint, and it was realism, it kind of caused some issues because people really wanted this piece. So after the French Revolution, the altarpiece was stolen from Ghent and taken to Paris and was exhibited at the Louvre until the French were defeated at Waterloo, and then they had to give it back.
So that
That's the first time it was stolen.
they actively knew it was stolen and
Yeah.
displayed it, knowing that that nobody could do shit about it and take
Yeah.
it away from them.
Between
Sounds like a museum. This is some
1789 and
capture the flag type
1799.
shit.
Yep.
This is some serious.
They're just like, we like it, so we take it.
We take
won.
it. See that's the era I
That
should
was
have been in.
basic. That was basically the reign of terror, though. So there was a whole thing of like civil unrest and politicians murdering the shit out of each other.
Whenever
So do
we
you
talk
wanna
about
hear-
A lot of the art stores like, we'll deal with that later.
So it gets worse. They got it back in 1815, and when they returned it in 1815, the Diocese of Ghent was like, oh, we don't have money. So they pawned Adam and Eve panels. Those two panels, they took them off.
Just the two?
And they fucking pawned them for £240. 240 pounds. It traded hands until it sold
Pounds
for
of what?
about 16,000 pounds.
Pounds of what?
British
That's a currency,
pounds.
Bam.
It's not like crypto.
Oh, that's why I'm so confused.
It's a
And
fiat
not pounds
currency.
like a stone.
I only understand crypto now.
Yeah.
16 stone.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a fat ass if you're 16 stone.
So it sold to.
It's not a lot of Bitcoin.
No.
Put it that way.
No, it's not.
They
least
sold it
that's current
to
value.
Frederick William III for $16,000, and he exhibited it in Berlin. So he rightfully bought it for $16,000.
Would you buy?
So-
Would you spend $16,000 and buy that painting?
Yeah.
Like right
A
now?
piece of art history? Yeah, I would.
2 giant panels with Adam and Eve? Fuck yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if some dude just wandered in here, not that it was this guy or this old, but some dude came in with just this crazy detail of a painting, was like, "Yo, I want 16 grand for it." Would you just be like, "Yeah, yeah"?
I think you'd have to have
If
the
it-
history.
Well, for the
Yeah,
pair,
if that-
that's only $8,000 a pop. That's a good deal.
If that dude,
But imagine buying it the first time for 240 pounds for the pair.
I mean,
like,
if it was
times
legit like
2.5.
that from that altarpiece, then for sure, yeah, I'd be like, hey,
No, I mean some dude just like painted it in his.
some Av person just walked
Yeah.
in and was like, hey, I painted this. I'm like,
But it's
no, you
no, you,
No, you didn't.
no, you didn't.
So this painting's a little cursed. The remaining panels in 1822 caught fire in Ghent.
Oh, no.
And then in World War II, soldiers
Wait.
stole the Ghent panels.
Wait, so some of them caught fire? Were they?
They were restored.
They survived?
They
Okay.
survived. They were restored, and then World War I, Germany took it. Germany stole it, but as per the Treaty of Versailles in 1920, they agreed to return it because of all the damage they caused, and they returned the 2 purchase panels of Adam and Eve. So that's how it got back together.
Sorry.
Sorry, oopsies, we ruined all your shit.
There was
Germany wasn't happy about this though. how they had to return the shit. They held a little bit of a grudge for that.
A grudge so bad they might start another war with the entire world.
Is this
Kinda.
Is this what World War II, the entire World War, was about? This painting?
I think it was a little more than that.
Is this what caused
It
it?
comes back.
I know there was things about like genocide in there. I think that was you know
Yeah.
part of it.
World domination.
That was the
that's right.
major part.
I don't
This
think it was
just
about
a-
this particular painting.
This was just a little
This
extra.
was just icing.
Oh, okay.
So in 1934, the front and back panel of John the Baptist, which is the next ones. Oh,
wait,
this is another detail.
Okay.
That's Adam and Eve. Those are the ones that were. That's John the Baptist.
Okay. Cool.
Good old
So
Johnny.
John the Baptist and the Righteous Judges panel, which is the next one. Those were the front and back parts of that. They were split off the original painting and stolen.
Oh,
Okay.
So on April 10th, 1934, they were stolen. One was left at a train station as a show of good faith. The other one was held ransom. There was 15
Just-
ransom notes that were traded back and forth. The other panel was never recovered.
Did they tell anyone that it was left at the...
Yeah, they did.
Or did they just like
That
nail
was
it to
in-
the wall and just
No.
like,
Like, hey, here's one.
They
If you want the
checked
other
it.
one, you got to pay the
Yeah,
ransom.
they checked
Okay.
it with bags that were never picked up, and they left a note saying that here's the first half, but you have
Just-
to pay us for the second one.
I just figured you meant they took like a railroad spike and just nailed it to the wall and was like,
No.
all right, we're out.
So the John the Baptist is the one that was left there, but the other portion of it, that portion, had to be basically copy painted by
Oh, really?
someone. Yeah, his name was Jeff Vandervink, and he replaced the missing panel
Thanks,
with
Jeff.
a copy.
So is this his copy? This
That's
image?
his copy. But it was so well done, people thought he might have just painted over the original,
Gotcha.
and that he's the one that actually stole it.
Oh,
So that was
interesting.
That's
that was a little bit of
interesting.
scandal.
Well, no
back
longer
in the
thanks,
30s.
Jeff.
Well,
Well,
we'll get to that
we
again.
don't know if it's true or not.
I mean, this particular one, I could take it or leave it compared to the
Yeah,
rest of them.
I know.
You like,
John the
compared to this
Baptist was
one.
way cooler. That's
Yeah.
probably why they just never did anything with it. Apparently, the last note was finally like some lawyer on a deathbed had it because their client gave it to them, and it said that it was hidden basically in plain sight where no one would think of. But this was 1934, before World War II, so that thing probably fucking got exploded.
Probably got
Side note, I'm
demolished.
pretty sure I saw this guy hanging out in front of the downtown quarterback across the street.
It's quite possible.
It's possible. Someone that looks very much like him.
Wow.
And apparently, this painting, this portion of it, because you could see where it kind of looks more brown tones behind him, it was never completely finished.
Okay.
So it was more of an underpainting. That was his underpainting.
Yeah, I could see that. Like,
Oh.
yeah, a lot of the brown tones, like
Mm-hmm.
underneath the cloak and stuff like that. And then the background. This looks like it, like, is there like a visual difference between his brother's paintings and his, like, because I would say that
I couldn't
this is one of his
really,
brothers.
yeah, we couldn't really find anything when looking it up. His brother, I guess, was a decent artist, but he never did anything of note. So they think that mostly Jan painted it, but his brother planned the layout. But they don't know specifically like what parts Jan painted versus what parts his brother painted. But judging by the detail, probably his brother painted this part. So World War II happened. Hitler ruins the day again. In 1940, Belgium decided that the safest thing to do would be to send the altarpiece to the Vatican to prevent any damage from occurring to it. While in transit from Ghent to Italy, they got word that Italy decided to hop on the bandwagon and join the baddies. They were like, you know what sounds really cool? The Axis of Evil.
Yeah.
So then they were like, maybe we'll just leave it in France for a while. So they wrote up this little agreement that Belgium and France and Germany would have to agree if it were to move from France so it wouldn't get fucked up in battle. And they were like, yeah, sure. And then Hitler was like, you should steal that for me. It would look really good in my castle.
Well, Hitler did that a lot, didn't he? Stole
yeah.
a lot of artwork.
So that's
Yes.
what he did. He stole it, and it ended up at Schloss Neuenstein Castle in Germany.
I like that. Like, if we were to say something about Hitler, like he liked his art.
He liked
well,
his
yeah,
art.
that's
he
what
was
he was.
a failed
he
artist.
was an artist
Yeah.
before he was a
painter, too.
fucking genocidal dictator.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think he was like dunking on it a little bit? I was like, it was pretty good, but I bet the white highlights would have been better if you were fucking German.
So he stole it and decided to relocate it
Good
to his
blonde hair.
castle. And he had one of his men steal it. So after this point, Alice started doing air raids over the castle. So he's like, you know what? This is going to get fucked up here. So we're going to move it to a really safe spot, the Altarpiece salt mines. So that's
got to be good storage for a painting.
Yeah. You know what's really good for oil paint? Salt. So the salt mines became home to,
Is that what this is?
slews of artwork. That's the opening to it. Stolen from museums, private collections. Artwork from artists like Michelangelo, Albrecht Dürer, Vermeer were all kept in there. In 1945, nearing the end of the war, a Nazi soldier decided that rather than having all the work fall into Allied hands, he was going to blow the fucking salt mine up.
Oh,
Sweet.
shit.
So he started wiring it. There was local rebels basically fighting them off, so that mine didn't get blown up because it literally held thousands of artwork.
That was
Books.
just stolen from
Countries
across
from
Europe
countries.
during World War II.
Yeah,
God damn.
museums. A lot of Jewish families had all their shit stolen, and it was hidden in there. So meanwhile, 570 kilometers away, there were 2 Allied soldiers. One happened to get a toothache and went to the local dentist. Started talking to the dentist about how they liked artwork, and he's like, you know what? You should talk to my son-in-law. His son-in-law happened to be Hermann Brunges. He was one of Hitler's art informant people that was in hiding because he pissed Hitler off. And he knew about all this artwork being hidden in the salt mines and what was going to happen if that dude blew it up. These 2 guys happened to be monument men. So they ended up getting all their guys together and decided to sneak there and steal all the artwork back. And that's what they
You
did.
ever seen that movie, The Monuments Men?
Yeah.
That's what this entire movie
It's
is
okay.
based on.
It's a pretty interesting story, though.
Yeah.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah, and these
That's
are
what
the
this is
pictures
based on.
of that, the panels disassembled in the salt mines, and that's them rescuing it. And then the next one is just piles.
It makes
The
sense.
piles of artwork that were retrieved.
Wow.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, it's going to be worth the value. So steal the art. And
So on May 8th, this is what they did in 1945. Monument Men American Lead Unit recovered many of nearly 6,500 artworks, as well as stolen weapons, furniture, books, and a bunch of coins that were stolen.
All right. I'll drink
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah. To the
Yeah.
Monuments Men.
Thanks, guys.
Steal it back.
So because, the
Always steal some
mines
shit.
were pretty shitty, because salt's not great for oil paint, they had to go through a bunch of extensive restorations. The more recent one they did was for 2019 for the reconstruction, and discovered that about 70% of the panels were overpainting from restorations before that.
Wow.
So they started removing a lot of the layers of paint and discovered buildings that they didn't know were there before, as well as the main portion of it is supposed to be the adoration of that sheep.
This guy?
Yeah, that guy. He was an overpainting too, because the one before that was a little bit humanoid, and people were terrified of it. So they covered it, and also you could see it had 4 ears.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking brutal.
Because the underpainting was
Well,
peeking through.
that's a Revelations thing, right?
Yeah,
This
well,
part.
the 4 ears thing was an accident because the underpainting happened to peek through after a couple of years, but people were freaked out by it, so they overpainted it with more palatable sheep rather than that human-looking thing. Yep. They're like, that's close enough.
I think I've seen a sheep before.
Is this what a fuzzy llama's supposed to look like?
Basically.
Alpaca.
I like him. I think he's cute, even though his eyes are kind of fucked.
But also during the restoration,
still let 'em live
they
in your backyard?
finally
Yeah.
got the answer they were looking for about that panel that they thought the guy stole and just pretended to paint over. It was actually his painting. It's still stolen, and it's still an open case. They still get thousands of tips a year, and they haven't found it yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
on a side note, we should do an episode. I don't know if you guys have done this, but bad restorations.
Yes,
That's a good one.
That is a
Yes.
good one.
Good idea.
I originally stumbled across this because I was looking for cursed artwork, and I'm like, man, this thing is fucking. I'm just gonna do an
Fucked.
episode on that. It's pretty cursed. It's been through fires and stolen, and somehow it's still all the panels are together.
Fucking jigsaw.
Where is it now?
The
It
Louvre.
is
The Louvre.
in a museum.
The
I
Ghent
didn't write it
Altarpiece.
down.
Do you think we could get it?
Probably not.
Let me look it up.
I want it.
We should stage a heist.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, let's talk about it on
Openly
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Let's put together a really complex
That's what I mean.
plan right here now.
Get
Lay
the
out all the
montage
steps.
music going.
So, for
Get the team
what
together.
outfits are you guys gonna wear?
Renaissance outfits only.
Well,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, of course you would have to.
You got to look like you fit into the paintings.
You got to dress like this dude.
Just an old T-shirt on the head.
It's fucking. It's creep. It's so creepy that the guy looks like Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Like it is. He looks pretty fucking similar.
It's a fucking bitchin' portrait, though, man. It's like perfect.
Awesome.
The anger that's in his eyes, man. Fear and the rage.
I still can't figure out where it's located. It's someplace. It still exists someplace, somewhere.
Man, there
Well, it's
like.
going to be mine.
Let's talk about this painting again, because there's like so much here that you would find later in art history. Like, I get hard Caravaggio vibes from this. You know, like the strong contrast. Chiaroscuro, like the draperies, fucking awesome. Everything's so well rendered.
It's amazing. The red and purple really work here.
I mean, the reflection thing in the mirror is something that Vermeer did way down the line, and I feel
Yeah.
like
That
that's
might have
what
been an
came
ode to
first.
this guy,
Yeah.
you know? Let's go look at that again.
Found it. Housed at St. Bavo Cathedral in Ghent, Belgium.
So where it was
that's the
originally
altar,
meant for.
the altarpiece?
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Okay.
what it is.
Cool.
Where is this one right now?
That one I'm pretty sure is in what's the giant museum in London?
Oh.
This guy also like.
It's the same place that the pre-Raphaelites were against.
Oh fuck! I love the
I forget the
green.
name.
I love the robe she's wearing and how he flexes so hard with the robe on the floor, and he's like, "Look at this fucking edge. Look at these edges.
Check out this drapery.
Oh
dog.
my god."
I believe it's in the National Museum. Is that what it is?
Quite possibly.
The
Yeah, the
Lon-
National Gallery. There we go.
London National Gallery, is that what it's called? Cool.
But yeah, there's so much wedding shit in this painting. I couldn't.
That's
write it all
literally
down.
what like glass does when you like fucking shine light through it against, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And the reflection hits something else.
Just
That's
that
so-
little fish eye, just
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
curve.
Yeah, the fact that he did all this from observation, too, is just mind-blowing. He was, like, from the future, probably, dude.
Yeah, this
Came
guy
back to
sucks.
invent oil painting.
Ancient aliens. Get Tom DeLonge on the phone. I'm sure he'll know.
That's why I said this guy sucks.
But, yeah, pretty groundbreaking artist, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you think that's all the stuff that we found as people in this painting? Do you think he hid little Easter eggs that only he knew about?
Oh,
Like
I'm
those
sure.
anal
I'm
beads
sure
on the
there's some
wall?
stuff in there.
In the anal beads, there's additional portraits, just additional weddings taking place.
All the weddings he ever had to
Of
fucking
all
go
the girls
to.
Batman didn't go down on.
Come full circle.
This is
all
ac-
the weddings that had no flow.
Yes.
1 out of 10.
This was actually the courthouse and everyone who got married that day, but these were the only people who were willing to pay him for a portrait.
See,
Yeah.
they got it about weddings back then. They understood what weddings were supposed to be.
Just in their bedroom.
No.
2 feet away from their bed.
No.
I mean, you were telling me some stuff about weddings the other day.
So you have 30 points. You have Zach Pedley's 30-point system for weddings. It's based off of Bret Hart, the professional wrestler. His 30
I like
point,
it already.
His 30-point system. I'm going to run it through quickly since I guess we have the time before we go back to art.
Phase 1.
There's 3 things that you look at for the Zach Pedley 30-point system. First thing is food. You get 10 points for food. Second thing is flow. You get 10 points for flow. Third thing is the guest comfortability and entertainment. That's 10 points as well.
that's it?
What does flow mean? Like
Flow
what
means
is-
how the wedding goes. So you would have the ceremony, then between the ceremony you have the cocktail hour.
Yeah, you're
then you
not
have-
waiting like 8 hours between each one.
Exactly. The highest I've ever rated a wedding is a 24 out of 30. The lowest was something I'm not going to say because maybe someone watches.
I
Lowest
might
I've ever
have
rated a
just
wedding is a
been there.
10 out of 30.
Was that their most recent one?
I don't know.
Was that?
It was a wedding. Let's just.
it was a wedding?
Yeah, it was a good wedding.
I mean,
I
Can you
puked
drop
on the
more
golf
hints?
course.
Oh, okay.
It was a good wedding.
Got it.
I ate too much glizzy.
Too many glizzies.
It was a fat glizzy.
How many glizzies did you eat?
On the golf course, 2, but they were like diameter of like that
Oh,
big.
so glizzy, you're referring to beef franks.
It was a beef frank.
But how do you
boiled?
Puke? How do you puke? Oh, boiled. Okay.
Boiled over
I was gonna
hard.
say, how do you puke from 2 glizzies? And then I realized you said boiled.
It was full of water juice, hot dog water.
Yeah.
And then I had a lemonade with a lot of sugar on top of it on the golf course, which caused me to puke because
And
I
then
only
the
eat one
sun
meal a
just
day.
fucking like laying down.
Oh,
How hot was it? I mean,
it was after I threw up. The Shamlin Dookie Sours came out because I started getting mad doinked, and I had a great time.
I saw
About
you. I saw
7
you.
out of
I have no
12
idea what you
champagne.
just said. The Shamlin Dookie Sours.
That's his name.
My alter ego, man.
Oh, okay.
When when the doinks come out, the Shamlin Dookie Sours come out, and
Shamlin Dookie Sours.
right,
I fucking love that.
we got
That's
turkey
great.
sub extra mayoed, right there. We got in Amish.
Okay.
These are the names you get. You get a specific name when you get mad doinked.
When you get too doinked.
Like a customer comes in, Joshua Kennedy. He's Jedediah Greenbush. Is that a good name?
Yeah.
That's a
the
great
extra
fucking
back 9, right?
Yeah, we have Bob Back Nine Bob.
Back Nine Bob.
He burns them and churns them.
That was the
Gotcha.
first one.
That was the first one that
was
started
number,
all
That
of
was
this.
number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's Tahiti passport. Your name has to be something that you can't stand. Like, I don't like the term dookie, so I gave that mine. I was like, this is the perfect name for myself because it makes no sense.
I fucking hate turkey and I fucking hate mayo.
Right. So we'll give you some names.
Turkey sub,
we
extra
see you.
mayo.
Turkey,
Extra mayoed.
Duh.
extra mayo. D. We since it legalized in New York, we want to get ahead of the curve, like what Reggie's talking about. We want to get more doinked and more dumb than the actual weed culture that's going to start in New York. But we're already ahead of it. So the Shamlin Dookie Sours wants to take you there.
Gotcha.
He wants to bring you there. You know,
All right.
I'll say a lot too.
like Nate Dogg, right?
Just
Nick
eat,
Swartzen.
just eat mayo.
Just eat some mayo. Oh, gross, man.
Spoonsfuls of mayo.
Just
All right. Well, I think that does it for today
Yeah.
with Jan von Eyck.
Any
Jan
closing
Vonneck.
thoughts on Batman since you were so affected by it?
Yeah.
It's DC. If anybody at DC is
Speaking
watching
of terms, we got to come up with a new sex term that involves Batman in some way, like the Batmobile or the Batarang. A batarang. A batarang was when your tongue accidentally ends up
Batalingus?
in a butthole instead of a vagina. Oh, I tried to go down with her, but I accidentally threw a batarang.
That's a good one.
that is that works. Yeah, just a little.
We're
Like,
going to
oh,
cease and
whoops.
desist from DC. They're like, no, we said no.
Sue them.
Oh,
Take
I
out
got
the
a bat
podcast.
signal in the email today.
We're getting sued. We're definitely getting sued.
Well, we'll see. You might get some text late tonight, like 11 o'clock, when I'm like, oh, this got it.
Late.
The
That's like an hour.
Batmobile, the bat plane,
Late.
the
That's like
bat
2
signal.
hours.
We
a utility belt.
utility belt. Maybe can use something with like penguin in there, like a penguin sex move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Does it
I'm
require
gonna
a little
show
person
my
to attack?
3-fingered flip it trick.
What's the Joker?
I'm really
think I wanna
disappointed.
The Joker is when you dip out on child support.
Oh. Catch us next week on Art Damaged.
Have a good
right.
night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.
What are the chances that my dad is in there? What are the chances?
Well, I think we need to find out.
No, I'm not. I'm going over to grab my shit.
Damn it.